There's no stopping this flame, cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no, I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capping space. I won't stop till I hear him say,
hello, Alex, you there? Hey there, everybody. Welcome in. Alex,
Yeah,
you there?
yeah, I'm here.
I don't know what happened again. That same situation happened. It's like your avatar disappeared, and I don't know what's going on here tonight.
Yeah.
There's
So
some hijinks, huh?
There's some hijinks going on, huh?
Yeah, there's some hijinks going on, but but more importantly, let me get to this right quick. Let me just say this, guys. Welcome in. Happy Valentine's Day to you guys. Those that celebrate or believe in this day of love. Happy Valentine's Day. Seriously, happy Love Day. I
Yeah.
want to say that, in all seriousness aside, for just a moment, very serious mass shooting happened late last night on the campus of Michigan State University in East Lansing. And it's, hit kind of close to home for those of us here, even in the Detroit metro area. Two Grosse Pointe young students that just graduated high school just a couple of years ago are now gone, and their families are grieving their loss. I just wanted to say that I think that deserves some attention, and I hope that I haven't triggered anybody, but this is really serious, and I don't know what our country is going to do about this type of situations happening over and over again repeatedly. I know, Alex, something like this just happened where you are in Virginia.
Yeah, the Walmart.
Right, the Walmart situation. So guys, just keep everybody in your thoughts and prayers, these families, the loved ones of these young people, and let's try to see that hopefully we can spur our politicians, leaders, and everybody else to make some much needed changes. But we want to welcome you in, and we're going to get started. I want to say hi to everybody. I want to say hi, especially shout out to our members, LMV, also member and also moderator. Roro, for real. Hey there, how you doing? How you doing, lady? And of course, Monique King, moderator extraordinaire and a team member. Yeah, so it's a lot been going on here today, guys. So just keep me in your thoughts and prayers too, and Alex, because sometimes it's we want to put on some entertainment. We want to talk about the show. We want to have fun. We definitely do. But in all honesty, real life is happening right as we speak. It's always going on around us. And some of these things affect some of us more than anybody will ever know. For real, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, but how was your Valentine's Day? Did you go out for dinner? What did you do with your boo, Alex?
Yeah. Well, there's
I
no.
don't know why you laughing. I don't know why you laughing. I can tell you what I did with my boo, but no,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah. Well, for me, there's no boo per se. I'm just wishing everybody a happy Thanksgiving. Those that wish to express love on this day. Obviously, we should do that every day, but having a day specifically set aside for that is wonderful for those of us that do celebrate it. So I wish everyone well today. But I had a good day overall. I had a good day.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. That's good. I heard a little birdie told me that you got some out of town family guests that came in.
Yeah, popped in late last night, early this morning, so to speak, and so we've been just enjoying each other because they're going right back out of town. So,
Oh, you saying it like you saying it like you the sheriff and like you kicking them out or something. What are you talking about?
they kicking themselves out. They just popped in for a little 48-hour, 36-hour trip. I'll turn right back around and leave out. So that is it's a wonderful thing though, because I enjoy seeing them. I enjoy seeing them whenever they come.
Oh, okay, well that's good. That is really good. That's awesome. That is awesome. And real quick, I know we took Super Bowl Sunday off, but that we're gonna have some catching up to do this coming Sunday, right? When we get together and we talk about you won't be there for the early one at 4:30 on Sunday when we talk about Married at First Sight. Too bad you're not
Mm.
covering that because I think you would enjoy it. But at
Mm.
6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time Sunday, we'll also be talking about what's the name of that show? Ready to what?
Ready to love.
Ready to love, guys. So don't forget to
Love.
join us. Right now, if you're in the live chat, you're watching us on the replay and the replay gang, go ahead and hit that like button, guys. It's free 99 and it really helps our algorithm. I tell you, it really helps us to get out there, helps us to stay on the air. So we really appreciate it if you'll just hit that like button, okay? Hey,
Absolutely.
Kirby. Hey, Kirby. Yeah, happy Valentine's Day to you too. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to get started. Um, we see this season, this episode, this is season 2, episode 4, and it's called In the Thick of It. And thick is spelled kind of unique. What is that all about? What do you guess that's about? It's spelled with a Q-U-E instead of a K.
I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. I don't have
Oh,
no idea why
okay.
they spell it that way.
They're just trying to be fancy, huh? But
Yeah, I guess so.
we open up in a new secluded waterfront home of Clifton and Joy. They're overlooking a pool, a dock, the whole waterfront. I mean, like, and as far as the camera is showing us from the overhead view, the drone is showing us that there are no other houses nearby. Do you see any other houses, Alex?
Nothing. I just see a bunch of water. That's
Bunch of
it.
water and trees, foliage,
Yep,
lots,
water and
lots of
trees.
water and trees. And so these two lovebirds, Clifton and Joy, and you guys that watch OWN's Ready to Love show last a couple of seasons ago, you'll remember Clifton and Joy were the couple that hit it off right from the first day. And they've been together ever since, and they're engaged to be married. So they just purchased this home, and they're discussing plans for the future. Uh, what did you make of this? What do you make of this? This couple, they bought a new home together. They're talking about marriage. What did you make of that?
Well, I think they just proven to us that they're more and more serious about making this work, about being together, building a home together, having children. Even though Joy was a little standoffish with the children thing, um, she said, I gotta still get my feet planted or whatever. Clifton was a little concerned about what is it going to take to get her feet planted. But I understand her. I understand what she's doing. There's a method to her madness, you know.
Really?
Um,
What is this? What is the method to her madness? What do you think it is?
well, she loves Clifton, but Clifton has two children by two different women. He's been married before. And she just really, really taking things slow and making sure that this is something that she's going to be doing for the long haul. Because for her, she wants this to be it. Like most people, she wants this one marriage to be it. You know, so
Right.
she's really taking her time, getting settled. She wants children. She clearly says she wants children, and so she obviously don't want to be in a situation where she's a baby mama. She has a child, things start to go south, and she's a single mother or whatever. So
Hmm.
yeah, so I kind of understand her method.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? When you size it up that way, that does make sense. She wants this to be a one and done type of married one time, and that's it. We're together till death do us part.
Right. And
You know.
Clifton already has two children, two different mamas, that kind of thing. She don't want to be a third baby mama, you know. So she's taking it slow. She still don't want the big wedding, which I don't blame her for that. She still don't want that. She wants to be married to him, but she don't want the big extravagant, star-studded extravaganza. She don't want all that stuff. She just want to get married and be happy.
Yeah, that's what it seems like. It seems like she definitely doesn't really want like you said, all that attention and all that hoopla and then really all the things that come with it, which is what the expense of the big wedding, because all that food and liquor and venues and things like that, they cost.
Do you know I've known people that were still paying for their wedding after they were divorced?
I never, if I did know somebody like that, I don't. They never told me. Most of the people I know that got married stayed married a long time, and still are married. A few people I know, of course, have been divorced, but I have heard that phenomena. Is that right? Is that true
Yeah,
that you actually know somebody that
I
got married,
personally.
going through a divorce, while they were still paying money on the loans and all the stuff and interest on the wedding, right?
Absolutely. I know him
Wow.
personally. Yeah, personally. So this is why sometimes you really got to think these things through and understand there's so much more we can do with that money. We can buy a house as Clifton and Joy, just did. We can invest in somewhere. We can start a small business. We can, there's so much to do than have a bunch of people come over and eating and drinking you out of house and home.
Yeah, yeah, because that's a choice that people make. And see, that's another thing. I guess the community, by and large, that I grew up in and came from, and a lot of the weddings that I attended from my church family, we don't drink. I mean, like, and if you do drink, you don't drink at receptions. You don't drink at wedding receptions. And so that's a big cost right there. Because I've heard a lot of people say, and I didn't believe how much money they said they spent thousands of dollars on liquor and alcohol.
Oh
I was
yeah.
like, there's no way. There's
Mhm.
not no liquor and alcohol that tastes that good that I'm gonna feed, like you said, I'm gonna feed other people, pay thousands of dollars for them to drink. I think not. I
I
just
mean,
think not.
liquor is very expensive today.
I mean, I think like a glass of wine, or even having wine or champagne or something. I guess maybe wine, because champagne, if you get the good kind, is expensive. But and then even having like the non-alcoholic, because a lot of people I know, actually, like I said, again, I came from a very conservative church community, and a lot of people don't drink, and it's not
Mhm.
necessary to have a good time. I don't know, like I will drink. I do occasionally drink, but it's not I don't know. But you're right. So I see your point. I do see your point. Um that what she's doing, she's being maybe more intentional about how she's going about this, planning this wedding, and wanting to just really be sure that more important than the wedding is the actual marriage itself.
Right, right.
Mm,
See the
mm-hmm.
the wedding is the show, the marriage is the commitment.
Mm.
So a lot of people, as they want the wedding, don't want the marriage. So
Yeah, because
you
you're
know,
right about that. I'm surprised when I talk to sometimes couples, and some of the couples nowadays, they don't have any premarital counseling, which I think is absolutely crazy. Because then
mhm.
they don't even know, they haven't talked about important things. They think they know each other. They could have been dating for 2 years, 4 years. A lot of these folks is engaged and girlfriends for 10 years. So you know how that goes. But yet
Yeah.
and still, they don't know that their spouse wants to have children right away. One person wants to. Alex, wait a minute. Hold on. I'm having some issues. Just hold on 1 second, okay?
All righty.
Go ahead
Yeah.
and sing our
So
audience a
yeah.
song. Sing My Funny Valentine. That's my request. I'll be right back.
Okay. Yeah, but regarding these weddings, I mean, I've been married twice, and I've gone to City Hall both times. Not that I wouldn't have wanted to have a few guests there at the wedding, but just basically really close family and friends, if anything. But to have a small wedding or to go to City Hall, that's the ideal situation. Particularly the second time that I got married, we went to Vegas. So we had the wedding, honeymoon, all in the same place. We lived it up in Vegas. We did it for 3.5 days in Vegas. So it was a wonderful wedding. It was short, it was sweet, and we went and gambled and ate and got some souvenirs, and we had a nice time. And then we took our rental car. We drove back into Arizona. We visited
What are
some
you
relatives.
what are you
You
talking
know,
about? Is this the second marriage or second wedding or whatever? What are you talking about?
yeah. I'm talking about how in my second marriage we went to City Hall in Vegas, and we did it up in Vegas, and had the wedding, the honeymoon, same place, and lived it up in Vegas for 3.5 days.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah. So came out very well financially. You know.
Oh, okay. And then you said you went down the coastline, and where'd you guys end up at?
Yeah, we had a rental car. We drove into Arizona to visit some relatives, and we stayed with them about 3 days, and then caught a plane back home to Virginia.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Ravine, I see you just popped in, girl. How you doing? That's another one of our A team. Shout out to her. How you doing? Yeah. What is this? LMV says Kadian from RTL last season says she wants a cruise wedding. Oh, you know what? That sounds interesting because you can do the wedding and then the whole honeymoon. But what happens if the guests are still on the ship? I don't know if I'd want them all in my beeswax like that. Like, come to my wedding and my reception, but y'all gotta go after that because y'all ain't gonna see me in my little, whatnots and bikini bathing suits and whatnot. That's
And
crazy.
Cadian wants it. Is her and Swayze even still together?
Well, that's a story for another day. Ooh, and Ravine said open bar is thousands. Just had one. Okay, well, happy belated birthday. Yeah, I mean, and see, that's something I think to me would be more relaxed if I'm having a party for my birthday or my significant other's birthday. Then that's different. But I don't know really now at this age how I feel about wedding and receptions. I've got to I've advanced along a few more years, so I got some different thoughts about it. But I don't have a problem with people having wanting to spend the money at their wedding, but that's their prerogative, right? It
Yeah,
should be.
absolutely.
I feel like it should be a balance between what you earn and like I'm saying, if you really got it going on like that, because I think sometimes people do put on airs because somebody else they know who is in a totally different tax bracket has a big wedding, a big reception, and they try to follow suit, and they're in a different tax bracket. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Don't have a wedding to impress everybody, and then after the wedding, you don't put yourself in a hole.
Now
Financial hole.
I have seen that. I have seen that with a younger couple back years ago that did that, and then they moved into an apartment, and I was like, when I found out how much they spent for the wedding, and this was out without liquor, without alcohol. They spent so enough for the wedding and the reception because they had the reception at a fancy venue. I was like, well, dang, I would have put that as a down payment on the house and not moved
Right.
into an apartment, because they could have afforded it.
Yeah.
But
Just not thinking practically.
right, but we move on. Then we move on to the next scene at the Silva's home. You see Ashley, her husband, Quick, and Ashley they're sitting down relaxing, and Ashley is letting her husband know that she's really grateful for the surprise birthday party that he just threw for her, right? And she says though that she talked to her best friend Alicia, who was in the car accident on the way to the surprise birthday party. She says that Alicia's still sore, but she's recovering and she's okay. Now, my question to you guys in the chat and the viewers out there, and if you're in the replay game, my question I really want to know: do you think that Ashley's husband Quick was wrong for the decision not to tell Ashley sooner about her friend's crash, or did he do the right thing? What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts, Alex?
I didn't get a chance to say this last week, so I'm gonna say it this week.
Okay.
I think that under the circumstances, once Quick found out that Ashley was okay, I would have made the executive decision to go ahead and have the party. I'm gonna give Ashley a pass on this, but I really did not like how she disrespected her husband when they went outside to discuss it. She was very disrespectful. Okay, she gonna tell him, man. He said, tell him you don't have any friends, this and that, walking away from him, putting her hand up to him, all this kind of stuff. That was very, very disrespectful, uncalled for. I give her a pass because she was very emotional and upset about her friend, but I would have loved to have seen an apology after the fact when they got back home and Quick is frying up the turkey bacon or whatever. She should have took that moment to apologize because her comments were totally unnecessary to her husband, who was trying to make her happy, who did his very best to make sure she enjoyed her birthday. So in retrospect, he deserves an apology.
Yeah, I had to agree with you on that, and I was a little surprised that Ashley said that about her husband. I think that, like you said, I think she was in her feelings and her emotions, and she was very upset, because it had just happened, and like you said, I kind of have to give her a pass, but and maybe it's done off camera, we don't know, but what we saw, I don't think I did see her make really an apology to him about those cutting comments about him not having any real friends. And that's going to be interesting because that's going to be a comment that Ashley has later on in this season too about people not having real friends. So that's kind of interesting.
Right.
And then so the two of them, as they're discussing, they move into a discussion about talking about their feelings about Jamie Sr. and little Jamie, and about how Jamie Sr. seems to be very dismissive uh, about little Jamie, saying that to it, telling his mom that he was feeling like so bad to the point where feeling depressed and lowered tones that he was even considering unaliving himself.
Mm.
Um, so we kind of had talked about that last episode, but we see Arena and Joy meet up at a little paint spot, right? So the next scene, we see Arena and Joy meet up for they talking about Joy, wedding, and like you said, she's not planning on having a big wedding. She wants to just maybe go to the courthouse and get it over with. And then Arena is talking about how Sherelle told her that Joy has her blocked, her calls blocked, right? And that's a whole conversation, which as I'm watching this, I'm thinking, okay, this is how rumors get started, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely. And
Who
I'm and
said
I'm
that? LNV says LNV go back just a second. LNV says that I'm sure she must be talking about Ashley. She says Ashley won't apologize because she does no wrong.
yeah. Well, Quick needs to demand that apology because he's still a man of the house,
Mm.
and he deserves that respect. He deserves that apology. He should deserve nothing less. He should ask for nothing less.
Really? Is that
Yeah.
nothing less or what? Or else what?
Listen, it won't be a whole lot of peace around that house if you talk to me all kind of crazy. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, whatever, buddy. Whatever.
Yeah. I ain't going. I ain't
But
going. I ain't going for that.
getting back, yeah. Okay, I believe you. But getting back to Arena now. Arena is talking
Mm.
to is out. Like I was saying, they're out, and let me just go ahead and put this up on the.
This is an interesting scene, though,
Mhm.
Aubrey, because Urana went into there asking what was the real problem with Joy and Black, thinking that Joy was upset because Black left her friend for Sherelle, and Joy was unequivocally saying no, he was cheating on my friend with Sherelle. And then she went
Mm.
on to say the group broke up because some shady stuff was going on with Black. And you're like, oh, what kind of shade? Just a lot of shady stuff. I don't
I
want to
don't
get
think she
into
used
it.
those words. We're going to get to that a little bit later too, but I don't think she used those exact words. I think she said there was some manipulation. There was what is it? She said there was some.
I think she said shady stuff was going on.
Oh well,
Yeah.
that's going to come up for debate as we see in the trailer. So I don't think I don't recall her. I wrote down notes. She said manipulative. She said a few words. I'm not going to say I got all the words written down because she said a few words, but I honestly don't recall her saying it as shady.
Mm. But
But go
what,
ahead. You're what you heard, and you said that she said there was some shady things going on, maybe, but she
and
really seemed to be talking about more. I guess the what is this group? Mambo Sauce.
yeah, mambo sauce. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
And Uranus talking about trying to find out what's going on with the shade or whatever. But Urana shows her shady side later, which we'll get into it
You
later
really
on.
like that word shady, don't you? I'm
Yeah,
gonna start calling you shady repellent.
yeah, Slim Shady.
No, shady repellent. You must not have
Yeah.
understood what I was saying, sir.
I heard you.
Hmm.
I heard you. I heard you. I kind of tuned you out.
Yeah, wah, 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 wah. Right. So, as like you said, as Joy was explaining why she wasn't cool with Black and how that just kind of trickles over quite naturally to his wife, because how can you be friends with somebody if you can't stand their husband? So there's no point in y'all trying to be friends, and she was right about that.
Right.
Um, she did say, Joy did say, to what you're saying, she did say there was some lies. I was looking for the other word. It was lies and manipulations. And by the way, this goes back over 10 years ago from what they keep saying. So I'm thinking, okay, this is all 10 years ago. Like, okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, later on, the Silvers meet up with the Tylers, and Quick very immediately gets into, as soon as they sit down, the four of them sit down at the table for this double date. Quick begins to tell Jamie why he invited them out. And basically, he invited them out because he's saying, look, me and my wife feel very strongly about how you talk about your son and how you treat your adult son, little Jamie. Now, here's the question I have for you guys in the chat and watching on the replay. What do you think? Does Jamie and Ashley have the right to tell their friends of like 1.5, maybe 2 years tops? Do they have the right to tell them, these feelings that they're having and what they're doing in their parenting style? What do you think, Alex?
Well, I guess they think they're helping. Um, it's all about understanding who Jamie Senior is, and I guess understanding who Urana is. Ashley, obviously, that's a very touchy subject for her because of her experiences in her youth and throughout her life, and the difficulty that she's had with her mother and her upbringing. So it's very sensitive for her, this topic of unaliving yourself or considering doing such a thing, harming yourself, and so forth. And Jamie's kind of still stuck on, the fact that his son's looking for attention. He's a big baby. He forgot that he called his son a bum, because he did call his son a bum. Now, he was drinking, but he called his son a bum. Okay, but I'll say this regarding sometimes these people that want attention, that say they want to unalive or harm themselves. Remember those old things where people would say, if they were depressed or wanted to harm themselves, they would say they would leave a note for their parents. Oh, I'm going to do it today. Don't try to find me. I'm at Susan's.
At Susan's. Okay.
So, that's a cry for attention. Okay, when people do stuff like that, they know exactly where you're going to go to find them, and it's a cry for attention, but also a cry for help.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's both. You're right, and you got to pay attention to that. You can't just treat that like, oh, just dismiss that. Because see, here's the thing. Let me just say, I'm sorry to keep interrupting you, but let me just say that here's the thing. Even in the cases like you said, where maybe it seems more playful and a little bit sarcastic or whatever, like your kid is like, oh yeah, like you said, they gave the place where they're going to be at and all of this, and gave all the, dropped all the crumbs to where they're going to be. Here's the thing though. What if on that 10% chance you're wrong and the worst happens? See.
Right.
So I just think like the saying goes too, there's some things you don't play about. I think that even if the person that's saying it, if you think they're playing, I think that if you're a responsible person, you have to take it seriously anyway.
Right. And Quick needs to understand too. And I appreciate the effort that they're trying to, get Jamie Senior to, look at things from another perspective. But Quick got to understand, you have a 14-year-old son. They got a grown man on their hands. A little bit different how you respond to them. Totally different. Because, Quick made a comment, I'm hard on my son, but then I'll go back and I'll hug him or whatever. Listen, Jamie's methods may be a little bit different, but he provide a great life for his kids, for his family. The boy is grown. He's responsible now for his own decisions. It's like Jamie said, he just got arrested back in 2021. So he's been getting in trouble for years. The question is, why did he choose this route? Okay, to start getting in trouble at a very young age. Maybe he was 16 or something when he started this mess. So Jamie Senior's kind of frustrated. He's very, very frustrated. But I will say he needs to change up his methods a little bit. You need to be tough and stern, but you also need to be very loving. It's a fine line there, Aubery. It really is.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking too. And then I think there's something else. So we've heard this couple, we've heard Irena and Jamie talk about Irena brought it up to Jamie last week, that maybe they should go to counseling as a family, or the father and son. And then I believe it was Jamie Senior was quick to say, well, we all need to go. Okay, guy, we all need to go, but you two seem to be having the worst problems. And maybe we do all need to go, but how about we start small, and if we need to add in, we'll add in. But the real tension seems to be between the two men, and I
Yeah,
think that's natural. You and I have talked about that. That's natural that children of the same sex of the whatever parent will tend to buck up. Girls will tend to buck up against their moms, and sons will typically tend to buck up against their dads if their dads are around, right?
absolutely.
And
Yep.
so that's what I see him doing. But the two of them do need to sit with a therapist. I think it would be helpful, because one of the things I think they could just be taught and that would help them a lot is just for them to learn communication styles and how to fight fairly. Because there actually are ways to fight fairly. And
Mhm.
calling people out of their names, for example, that's one way not to fight fairly. That's going to cause a lot of contention, a lot of anger, and a sense of being disrespected.
Right. That's right.
So
Yeah. Because the minute you start that, Aubrey, when you start the name calling and stuff, the person shut down and communication's over at that point. Because no one wants to be talked down to, called the name, yelled at. And so when soon as that starts to happen, communication ceases to be effective.
right. Yeah. And Roro has a good point if you want to read this on the screen as I go to the next comments and things like that. You want to read that, Alex?
Yeah, Roro says, hey, Roro. She says, it is very serious, but a 26-year-old, his parents' opinion shouldn't matter to that point. He should be more accountable for his own actions. Exactly. And this is where I say that Jamie Sr., when he says he's a spoiled brat, that's what it is. He's a spoiled brat. And they're trying to,
there you go with the name calling now.
but that's what he is. I mean, if there's a nicer way to say it, you can say it. But he's a privileged kid. He's spoiled. You know, he want his mama to save him, his grandmama to save him, his girlfriend to save him. You got to get out there on your own and just get up by the bootstraps and do what you got to do as a man. Period. You know, it's time to stop this.
Yeah, I would like to see, one of the things they could talk about in counseling too could be what is little Jamie going to do to put bread on the table? What is he going to do to pay rent? Because at some point your youth runs out. Your good looks and women's determination to take care of you, sometimes that wears out, and
It
then
runs its course.
It runs its course, right? So I really would just like to see, because I don't think little Jamie, I think he thinks highly of himself, but the thing of it is, like, maybe you don't want to flip burgers, maybe you don't want to be the security guard, but sometimes all the time you have to start somewhere. And even the Bible teaches us to not despise humble beginnings, because you could be the person flipping the burgers at a hamburger joint, and down the road you could be that same person that owns that hamburger joint. I've seen many stories of that. I actually knew a guy that did that. Go ahead.
Exactly. I mean, people don't understand what it's like to have humble beginnings. Some of our, famous people, most famous people that we love, Halle Berry's mother threw her out. Okay. Steve Harvey lived in his car for 3 years.
Yeah, I read that. Yep. He said, he talks about that often, that he was basically homeless. A lot of people have been homeless. I mean, it's no shame. Tyler Perry, right? He's a billionaire now, right?
Right.
But you got to start somewhere. It doesn't matter the fact that your parents are well off. The reality is that at some point, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, you got to start thinking that's their money. That's not my money.
And it's funny. It's funny because it reminds me of an episode of The Cosby Show back in the day when The Cosby Show was on, and Vanessa had got into a fight in school. And she came home. They was teasing her about being a preppy kid and all that and goody. They was teasing her, picking at her. So she came home and told her parents what a terrible day she had. And she was telling her parents, I'm so tired of this. I just wish we weren't so rich. Right? So
I remember that.
So Bill Cosby looked at her and said, me and your mother are rich. You have nothing.
I remember that.
So that's what these kids have to understand. It's not your money. It's just not your money.
No.
Go out there and get yours the way I got mine. I'm going to show you how to do it, but you got to put the work in. I can't do the work for you. And this is where Jamie Sr.'s frustration is coming, because Jamie Jr., he's being picky about, I'm not going to do this. I don't want to do security. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. You don't have any money. So what are you talking about? You calling your grandmother. You calling me. You calling your girlfriend. You call everybody to help you because you don't want to do a security job or some other job that you think you're too good for? Really? Come on now.
Hey, Jay. Jay from Another Round is in the house. She said she just stopped by. We appreciate it. Girl, go ahead. Hit that like button now. Hit that like button. And hopefully we'll see you on Sunday for our RTL panel review. Jay, by the way, if you're in the chat right now or watching us on the replay, be sure to go by Jay's channel, Another Round. She is a very gifted commentator, and she also does reviews on various TV shows. She does real life heartfelt topics, and she's a great host. So go over and check out her YouTube channel, Another Round, and that's Jay. So go ahead and check her out.
And Jay owe me $5. Jay, where my $5? She owe me $5.
She owe you $5 for what?
From the last Rated Love, she lost a bet or something. I want my money. Get my money for all hell break loose, because I don't play.
You talking about when we had the cliffhanger about who was going home, which one of the ladies was going home?
Sure thing.
Yeah, okay, so you were right, Corvea. You it surprised me too, because but I didn't make any bets with you. I know that. But, okay, all right.
Oh,
So,
I'm just messing with her. Hey Jay, glad to see you.
Yeah, at the at Sherelle's planned event workout for the ladies, Winter appears finally. We really get to see Winter coming into with the other ladies, because before she was just kind of interacting and not with the other ladies. So finally they get together. They're working outside. They got their athletic gear on. They're all looking great, looking fabulous. Irena, I mean, like every time I see her on screen, Irena Tyler, she just lights up the screen. She's so super gorgeous, so fit. And that running is just really keeping her, and whatever else she's doing, she's really keeping it together. But so Brittany, Alicia, and the girls, they're huddled together with their girl Ashley as Irena retells the whole situation about what she remembers, how she remembers Joy telling her about Joy's disdain for Black and Sherelle. So Winter is saying goodbye to Sherelle, Winter says, "Well, who is that girl? I don't know her." And then Alicia says, "Well, clearly." And then the two of them kind of go back and forth, and I'm going like, "What in the world? This is getting out of control real quick." Now, what did you think about that?
First and foremost, Irena should have kept her and Joy's conversation out of it. So she's been a little bit messy with that. I was a little bit upset at Urena for bringing her and Joy's conversation into that.
Not Urena, it's Irena.
Irena, whatever. Okay, Irena. Upset with her about bringing Joy's conversation into that, because she stirred up a pot and a bunch of stuff. Okay, she didn't have to do that. She was a little messy there. Sherelle is kind of annoying me now, because she running around every episode trying to play peacemaker and stirring up junk. Now, we understand it might be production. We understand all of these different type of things. But listen, you're nobody's counselor. You're not the savior. You're not the messenger. These people don't like each other. Leave it alone. Stop trying to put them in the same place all the time, because Winter comes right in there. Okay, she gets behind everybody and says, "Oh, I didn't get the wig memo." She started as soon as she walked in the door. Okay, so now she's talking about the women's hair. I didn't get the wig memo. So why is that why is that necessary to say? You know what I mean? So they go through the exercise, do what they got to do, and Sherelle is trying to get them to talk to Winter. For what? Did it make any sense to you, Aubery, at all? To get them to talk to Winter?
No, not if I, because we did watch and review last season. So yeah, no, it really didn't. It really didn't. But like you said, that's kind of, I think, what they do. It's kind of like how this whole reality show thing works. They have to kind of get what was said out in the open so it can be discussed.
But it is good to see Alicia out and about and healthy
Yeah, that's right.
after that car accident.
After the car accident where the car was totaled. You're right. You're right. And she
Yeah,
looked good. She looked really good. I
yeah,
didn't see any scratches or any large bruises. I'm not saying that maybe her body didn't go through whatever changes or whatever, but thank God she's seems to be intact, and I'm sure she did go to the hospital, so they would have checked her out for whatever. So I think that, it's a blessing that she's fine.
yeah. I didn't see any after effects or anything like that. She seemed to be her normal self, you know, and she was going at Winter, trying to protect Ashley, when Winter should not have been there. Period. And I understand they need the drama and so forth, but Winter and Ashley will never get along. Ashley's not interested. Now, Irena, she will entertain that. She'll sit down with Winter and talk about text messages. And all. Ashley is not interested in the least.
I'm
So,
I'm wondering, somebody brought this up, and I wish I knew whose podcast to shout out because I do listen to other YouTubers, of course. But somebody brought this out, and I thought this was a good point. I think the balance that could be brought into this show with as it relates to Winter, because I do think she's a good character. I think she makes good TV drama. I think she's very quick on her feet. As is Ashley. So they make good opponents. But I think the thing for Winter is, with the viewers, we need to see more of Winter, build up more of her character outside of all of this argumentativeness. We need to see more of who she is. Is she dating someone now that she's gotten her divorce from her husband Kevin from last season? Is she dating? I know she runs entrepreneurial businesses. We need to get a little bit more taste of her. You see what I'm saying? I
yeah,
think
yeah.
it's like reading a novel. Every time you're introduced to a major character, you get to know a little bit about them, but we don't really know unless you're following her on social media. It's just really not coming out right now in this part of it. Maybe they'll develop it more, and I'm going to keep watching because they definitely this season has gotten off, wouldn't you say, to a better start than um it's gotten off to a better start than last season. So I think this is going to be a really impactful season for Love and Marriage DC.
Absolutely. And it's double the episodes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I wouldn't care if they were going to do double the episodes and not have any drama or any good TV. I would probably have to say, bye, Love and Marriage DC. I can't, I can't do it. I can't do it. But it's looking like it's going to be a lot of things that are going to be going on. There's lots of moving pieces. We got to find out what's going to happen with little Jamie. I want to see and hear more too as Jason gets settled in his new home. Hopefully, I wonder if they're going to show us how he's doing in his living out on his own.
Yeah, I want to see at the point where they're really showing Jason dating because he was very
Oh, that
adamant.
would be good. Yeah.
Yeah, he was very adamant last season. He's like, I'm ready to get out of here. I'm ready to have a girlfriend. I'm ready to get. He was adamant, about that. So I would like to see that and him just pursuing his dream and learning just how to, navigate life with his disability, which I think he does very well, actually.
Right, right, right. So some of our chatters are saying they really want to just see Winter gone. I don't know. I really like her. I guess maybe too because I follow her on social media, and I think she's a very interesting woman. You know, I think she's a very interesting woman. And if you watched last season, I don't know what they would have done without Winter last season because she brought the drama for everybody.
Right. But to the point now where if no one wants to speak with her or be on screen with her, then
Right.
what's the use? Then you got to create a whole separate storyline for her. And would that be worth it? Is she interesting enough to do that?
Right, that's true. That's true. Well, no, and that's always with any you're right with these reality shows. Once a character or castmate gets to the point where none of the other castmates want to film with them, and that kind of happened on Love and Marriage Huntsville when you guys say, those of you that watch Love and Marriage Huntsville, isn't it? Is it basically was it Melody that the other castmates didn't want to film with, but then again they couldn't not film with her because she's a major part of the show. So you guys tell me what you think. Are there any other shows that you can think of? Any of the Real Housewives where there's a character that's a very important main cast member, but most people don't want to shoot with that person? Tell me if you have an example. Tell me that in the chat, or tell me that later on in the comments section. So Sherelle is trying to calm things down, and but Ashley and Winter are just still hyping things up. Outside, their voices just get louder and they're getting more argumentative. And then we go back and we see flashbacks of past social media tiffs that these two women have had on Twitter. They just have gone back and forth. Their emotions are running high. And then, oh, I thought this was kind of funny, even though it's kind of funny, but I would have been embarrassed if it was me. Winter's past decision to marry Kevin, who lived at home in his parents' basement at the age of 60, was brought up. And I was
Right.
like, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. And, you know, like to your point, is Sherelle instigating this stuff or not? What's going on? Shout out to Auntie's advice, because I love where she says that. Is Sherelle instigating or not? And it does seem like this is a part of the reality show genre. Um, when Winter said that she wasn't the one with the diagnosis, and she said that on social media, or she said that out loud, basically it seemed like she was implying that she was talking mainly about maybe Ashley. When you think,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
because Ashley has been very, you know, transparent about the fact that she has been to a therapist and she sought treatment. I felt like, you know, in that moment, I really respect a lot of things about Winter. Winter is a very accomplished woman in her professional, her academic life, her degrees and things like that. And she's raised 4 beautiful children. But I thought in that moment, see, those are the type of things that keep people from seeking help when people throw things out like that on social media, like, well, you're the one that has a diagnosis of having depression, or, and so what?
And
So what?
people have to be very careful about throwing those kind of things around, because universal law is like a boomerang. Once you throw out what you throw out there will come back on you. So you better be careful.
Well, yeah, and but here's the point. The more specific point, though, is that if you're laughing and joking and talking about somebody having a mental health diagnosis from a professional, like, it seems to me like basically as an educated woman, you're making fun of that, like as if you're a child and you don't have the intellect to process that people have mental health disorders. Just like it's no different than if you have a heart attack or you have high blood pressure. Are you making fun of them too because they got high blood pressure or diabetes? There's no difference. You know, people
Mm-hmm.
can't help the genes and the genetic pool that they were born with, or some of the environmental factors when they were children, that they received trauma. And I think you talk about this in one of your videos about the movie Smile,
Yeah.
that there's a lot of trauma that people experience. So, like, what's the point of you making fun of that? And you got a whole master's degree. Like, really?
Just
Serious?
just live long enough. You'll deal with something.
Right.
just be around. You're going to deal with something. So you have to be very, cognizant about dealing with people's shortcomings or their issues or their illnesses or whatever, because you don't know what you're going to be facing in the future if you plan on being around. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right. I was just looking at what's up on the screen. Ravine said that Jason is her favorite castmate. I love him too. I love him too. Are you following him on Instagram? You go to his page. His page is lit. He done met everybody from Stevie Wonder to I don't know, LeBron James, just everybody that, famous
Mm,
celebrity type people. His parents really make sure that he gets out. Like, not,
mm.
they don't he and I like him too. I feel like he has a lot of courage and a lot of bravery. He doesn't allow himself being somewhat different, that he has something that he's dealing with, a challenge. He just meets every day with like a brave heart is what I see. And he's also very, I think it seems like he's very grateful and appreciative of his parents, which that should be like an example for their older son.
Should be. It should be. But it may have caused, as we alluded to before, it may have caused a little bit of animosity or jealousy between them as well.
Yeah, yeah. It could be at least on maybe on Jamie Jr.'s a little Jamie's side, because I don't
Right.
see that the younger son Jason is jealous of his big brother. I don't think so.
No, I don't see that. Maybe from the other side, like we saying.
Yeah, but that's something. But so let's see where are we at here. I think we only got a little bit more to go. Um, mm, 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 mm. Yeah, so talking about the Winters thing, her decision to marry Kevin. Okay. Um, okay, so this is where I want to where we're going to kind of wrap up. Ashley, this is where I said Ashley kind of uses that a lot. So as Winter is leaving the parking lot, and after all this back and forth and them raising voices and raised tones, Ashley says to Winter that she doesn't have any friends and that her one friend of 15 years has even left her. Now, she doesn't call any names, but did you assume the same thing I assumed about which friend she was talking about?
Of Ashley friends or Winter's friends?
Talking about Winter's friends, because Ashley is saying this part to Winter, and
Right.
I'm making a point of it because
Mm.
remember earlier in this episode, Ashley told her husband Quick that he didn't have any real friends.
Right, right. That's right.
So
Hmm.
now she's saying it to Winter, and I'm asking you, do you know which friend she's talking about? Do you think that she's talking about Monique Samuels by any chance?
She may be, because I know she's not talking about Kevin.
No, they ain't known each other but a hot minute. They met, got married, and then she found out he lived in the parents' basement. So now she wasn't talking about him. So yeah, I think
Yeah.
she's talking about Monique. That's what I'm alluding to. I think that she's alluding to that Monique after that season that they had last season. That Monique basically saw her as in a whole different light.
And Monique was really her only friend throughout the course of that season.
Right.
She really was.
Right. So we're gonna see. I mean, like, and I think in this season right here, we see Sherelle is supposed to be somewhat she knows Winter, but now whether I think we use that friend word. Do you think sometimes people misuse friend? Because I think that sometimes my mother used to always tell me you don't have more than five real friends in the world. Everybody else, people are acquaintances, they're co-workers, they're neighbors, but be careful of calling people that even if you've known them for 5, 10, 15 years. Be careful of calling them and assuming they're your friend, because do they really have your best interest at heart?
Yeah. Friend is a very overused word. We all know friends. You don't have many of them. Number one, your mother says five fingers, much less than that. If you got two or three, you're very fortunate. Um, so most, like you said, are acquaintances, people that we come across in our life. They're there for a season, then they're gone. I know personally in my life, I have some very, very good true friends that I consider just brothers or sisters from other mothers. We're very, very close.
Hmm.
And if we don't talk for months, maybe even a year, because we're living our lives and doing what we need to do to survive this world, once
Right.
we pick up the phone and start talking again, we don't skip a beat. You know, those are real, real true friends who are going to be around. They become part of your DNA. They become part of your psyche. They're embedded into your spirit. Those are true, true friends. A lot of other people are just there for the season. Not a bad thing, because the season comes, seasons go. That's it. They're there to show you something, teach you something, then they're gone. So, but I think friend is a very, very overused word, and we have to start using acquaintance more than friends.
Yeah, yeah, I think so. I really truly do. I believe that with my heart. I think that not everybody is your friend, and sometimes even those people that are pretending to be your friends, it's a thing. Sometimes you don't know somebody's heart, and whether or not they're jealous of you, jealous of your relationship with your significant other, jealous of your relationship with your children. There's so many things that people can be jealous of. And you might think that you're a very modest person with, just a modest home, just working a 9 to 5, just a regular Joe or a regular Jane. But you'd be surprised. In my life, I've known and I found out through somebody said it here earlier that sometimes alcohol brings out what people are really thinking.
Oh yeah. Oh
And
yeah. You know this.
I've had people say some really weird things to me where in that moment and after they said what they said, I never looked at them the same way because I could see that they were bitter toward me for whatever reason.
Well, you know what they say: a drunk person speaks a sober mind.
That's
And
it. That's another saying. You're right. Right. Say that again.
a drunk person speaks a sober mind.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah. Like they really telling what's on their heart
right?
because
They
you.
if when they're sober, they don't
Mhm.
have the guts to say it. So the
Yeah,
alcohol gives them courage. You
yeah,
know, so now when they're drunk, they saying any old thing. Yeah, you and your mama, both of you MFs. You know, and it's like, really? Are you really saying that right now? You know,
right,
and
right.
yeah.
Yeah, and don't ever say nothing about my mama because that ain't gonna go over well with me ever in life.
Yeah, yeah,
Right?
yeah. I could imagine.
You might just get CUT,
Right, right,
if
right.
not worse. Because like I don't play that. I don't play that because I'm never gonna talk about anybody's parents or their family. But
And
yeah,
then people
guys,
make excuses for them, Aubrey. They make excuses and go, "I don't listen to it. They just drunk." No, they mean what they say. Believe it. They mean what they're saying.
right, exactly. Oh yeah, I pride myself in being able to read people, but over the years, because I think that oftentimes when you have, I think most of us, this is the thing about perspective. Your perspective is based on your experiences, based on your belief system, and I think that I try to be pretty agreeable with people and take people at face value. But once you show me that you are not the person that I thought you were, because see, like if I got a thing with you and I dislike something you said or done, I may not say it in the moment, but you can best believe I'm going to bring it to your attention and ask you to address it. You see what I'm saying? So you're going to kind of know where you stand with me. But I don't like people that are fake and false and two-faced friends and they smiling in your face and they're talking about you behind your back and stabbing you in the back. That is what I'm saying. So like, yeah, like I said, I've seen it happen where, especially when I was younger, where because of academic success or whatever it was, or maybe it's a boy that likes you that they like, a girl likes, and he doesn't like them but he likes you. They will turn on you. People will turn on you, and I don't get that way. Like I'm always happy, I'm always rooting for everybody to win, right?
Right,
But a lot of people in this world aren't like that. A lot of people just foster a lot of bitterness, a lot of anger, a lot of hatred, and a lot of jealousy. And I'm always thinking, well, why are you jealous? Because if somebody else did it, if they achieved whatever this thing is that you want to achieve, if you put your attention into that thing that you want to achieve, you can achieve it too. You can do
right.
it too. Yeah, right, LMV. Like the video. Don't be jealous. Don't be no hater. Don't be two-faced to coming in here enjoying our entertainment and our conversation and our podcast, but yet you won't even ever hit that like button. I see you. And by the way, the replay gang, you are doing really not the best on hitting that like button. I'm
Yeah.
challenging you tonight, today, to hit that like button and show me that you really are true, that you're true blue. What do you
And,
say,
and,
Alex?
yeah, absolutely. Always support. Hit the like button coming in. Hit the like button going out, and hit it on the replay. And share the video. You can
There
share
you
it to
go.
your Facebook page. Share it to your Instagram. You can text message the link to your family and friends. It's not that difficult to do. So do that for us. Help us get these numbers up. Help us spread the word on these great podcasts. And I do want to say this in closing. Sherelle's efforts to be a good Samaritan and a peacemaker has gotten very, very messy and will continue to get messy unless she gets off this trajectory. I'll say that in closing.
Go ahead and say a little bit more.
Yeah,
Explain,
so but
explain that.
but yeah, she has to get off of that because she don't really understand why Joy is upset with Black and the whole Mambo sauce situation. She has to come to grips with that first and stop trying to get into other people's pre-existing mess that she wasn't even a part of. She wasn't part of the show last season. So she's coming in here with her own mess with Joy from Mambo Sauce, and she's injecting herself into the Ashley, Winter, Irena situation, and she shouldn't even be in that. She should focus on, if anything, which Joy is adamant about. Look, there's no hope. I don't want nothing to do with Black. Okay, but if she's gonna, project her efforts anywhere, it should be in that direction because of that history, and stay out of the Winter and Ashley and Irena stuff.
All the other stuff, yeah. But we see that, and speaking of that, so yeah, real quick, the trailer coming up for next week, it looks like Irena and Sherelle are really getting ready to start throwing some sharp words at one another. Did you see that? Did you notice that in the trailer, that Irena, it looks like Irena is basically saying, "Don't nobody like you, girl.
Yeah.
Don't nobody like you. Nobody." Right. And Sherelle is like, "I don't give a bleep, 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 bleep.
Right.
Don't nobody like me. Bleep, bleep, bleep."
There you go. This
Sherelle sounds like me because I don't give a bleep either.
As a matter of fact, they're gonna entitle that episode "Bleep."
And then on a even more serious note, but a highlight. We see Quick is going to be speaking as they now rename the street that he grew up on and was raised on. They're going to rename it after him.
That's huge.
Quicksilver Drive or Quicksilver Place or something, or no, Quicksilver Way, isn't it? Quicksilver Way.
Quicksilver Way. Quicksilver Way. Yeah.
Yeah, I said, man, that is big. Like,
who
gets streets named after them? You got to be really doing. And see, I think that shows, like, when he came over and interviewed with us, what a lot of people don't realize is that I know I do love her accent too. I had to say that. I probably didn't get it right, high vibe, but yeah, I think it's cute. I just think she's adorable. Like, she's almost like a Barbie doll to me. She's so pretty. But back to Quick. Yeah, Quick. He's very, at least to me, what I got out of our interview with him a couple months ago is that he's really, really humble, hardworking guy, a family-oriented guy. And he's really into the community. He's very involved. He told us of a couple of projects that he had going on in the community in that area, and the DMV and the Baltimore area, right?
Yes. And apparently he's very well loved and appreciated. Thus, the street named after him.
Alex, tell us what you got going on your channel so everybody can tune in to Magnetic Repellent.
You know what, Aubery? There's been so much going on lately. I've been doing a lot of shorts, things like that. Because this news is coming so fast and furious. Like every day is something crazy. The Sunday we had the Rihanna Super Bowl thing and all this stuff, and then now unfortunately in your neck of the woods, the Michigan incident, and these days, just things are happening so fast. So I've been doing a lot of shorts and things like that, but I'm going to get back to doing some of my longer content. But go over and subscribe to Magnetic Repellent, watch some of the videos, and like on them and share on them. I think you guys will love some of that content over there.
Absolutely. And can I just say this real quick too? Is it okay if I share out your commentary on this movie Smile? Because I just watched that. It took me a while. I actually watched it when you first put it out couple months ago, and I liked it and everything, but I couldn't, because I felt like there was, and you kind of mentioned it might be triggering for some people, like if you're dealing with some things or you maybe don't want to look at something that's a more serious topic. But I actually was walking the other day. It's been so warm here in Michigan that I'm out walking again, and while I was out walking, I was listening to it, and I ended up having to play it back twice, and it really touched my heart. Like that is a really deep video that you did, and I felt like it was kind of ministering to me. Like, do you know what like, was that what was your intent when you put that video together?
My intent was to take the shame off of trauma, take the shame off of bad events that may have happened in your family. You can overcome these things, but you have to face them head on. You have to deal with them, because if you don't deal with them, they will follow you the rest of your life, just like the smile did in this film. Okay? If you don't deal with it, it's going to be on your back like luggage the rest of your life. But you can defeat it if you deal with it.
Right. Well, on that note, we're gonna go ahead and get out of here,
Yes,
guys.
but
Like,
share it, Aubrey. Yes, but share it as much as you like to answer your question.
okay, yeah, because I was gonna share it out to my community tab, and that way, those people that are subscribed or hang out over on this channel and still waiting to subscribe. But it's all right. I'm gonna pray for y'all. I'm gonna pray for y'all. Okay, but I'm gonna share it to the community tab. That way, it's right up there in public for everybody to see, and you can click on it and go right to this link. It's about maybe what did you say about 20, 21 minutes?
21, 22 minutes.
Yeah, and it's good. It's really good, guys. So you're dealing with some things, and you're thinking about trauma, and you want to just hear them out. Alex really brings up some good examples and analogies in this video. So, guys, go over there and check it out. Want to thank you guys for being here. We appreciate you. We love you. We love our A-team members. Shout out to the A-team members joining, those that have joined, and we got some new members in recently, and want to thank you very much. Appreciate you guys. We're going to be doing some more members only videos, and we thank you. Tell us, be sure to check out, come back, and in the comment section, leave actual comments in the video, like the comment section, different from the chat section, right? And tell us what it is that you'd like us to do, or what topics you'd like us to talk about in the upcoming videos and lives that we do. Okay, guys, because we appreciate you. We love you. We know that you could be anywhere else on these YouTube streets, but you're here, and we really appreciate it. And most importantly, we also have to send a shout out to Monique King, moderators, LMV, and Monique King for keeping the chat safe, organized, dropping links, and doing all these wonderful things. We thank our special guest, or in the member in the chat, Jay from Another Round. Hope you go to her channel and subscribe. Also, she's a very gifted YouTuber. And right now, if you know anything about these YouTube streets, we struggling in these YouTube streets, y'all. Don't make me have to go on Patreon. Don't make me have to leave and go on Patreon. But no, we love you, and we always got plans to continue to grow and get better. And just keep us in your thoughts and prayers, and keep the community at Michigan State University, those families that were affected. Please keep them in your thoughts and prayers, guys. We love you.
Prayers up to Michigan. Peace out.
Peace out.